Welcome to the Purple Elephant Show. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is the second episode today, July 26th, for this weekend show. This is the final episode for the weekend. I'm only doing 2 episodes this weekend because I'm doing a lot of administrative stuff for both my channels behind the scenes, and I need the bandwidth to get that stuff out the way. And just so you know, if you ever want to take a break from politics, and Lord knows a lot of people are just like, turn it off, then you can go to my other channel. It's what I call ABP, Anything But Politics. And that channel is KIRWKC, Keeping It Real with KC. I talk about lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports, but mostly lifestyle and entertainment. So if you ever want to go to that channel, that is my shameless plug to send you on over there so you can take a break from the politics of the world. And I totally get it, but I'm doing some things behind the scene administratively, and it requires more bandwidth. So I'm only doing 2 episodes today, and this is the second episode. As for this show, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can click the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, followed by the notification bell if you're watching on Daily Motion. Then, of course, hit the subscribe button. If you are listening to the podcast, you can hit the subscribe button to go to the main podcasting website. It is thepurpleelephantshow.com. That will take you to the main podcasting website. Even though this podcast is carried on several podcasting platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google Play, or whatever. But the main podcasting website, thepurpleelephantshow.com. You can follow on Parler, which is The Purple Elephant Show. That is the handle on Parler. So we can parlay, which is another administrative thing I have to take care of this weekend, have to get verified. And on Twitter, at Real TPES, on Instagram, The Purple Elephant Show. Now that we got the housekeeping stuff out of the way, this particular situation, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. This is another example of issues with China. Something is going to have to give. And I believe it will happen within about 5 years. I hope that we can I look at this like a bad relationship with an ex, where it's like, you take your stuff, I'll take my stuff, we're done. We don't have to talk anymore. We don't have to deal with each other anymore. You stay in your world, I'll stay in my world, and we'll be good. I would prefer for it to be that way. Sadly, we have people in the country whose greed overrides their patriotism, where their loyalty is to money instead of to country, which is sad, because your country should always be who your loyalty is to, unless it's just a completely corrupt country that does tons and tons of corrupt things that you just can't turn a blind eye to. Then you can weigh things where you can weigh them. But when it comes to this country, it shouldn't be about money. It should be about maintaining the republic. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And I really wish people would realize that. I'm glad that the president closed down the consulate in Houston. The consulate was closed down in Houston because there was suspected espionage and other nefarious things happening at that consulate. It did not help the Chinese any, that once the consulate was closed down, they were caught burning documents at the consulate. Not shredding, not putting in a box and saying, okay, we're going to put our documents in a box and take them with us. Not any of that. They were burning, as in fire. Fire. They were burning documents. Who still does that? So that within itself should let you know that something was not on the up and up. Apparently, one of the things that they were doing, they were attempting to steal research information in regards to the China Wuhan virus. Another thing that they have been accused of doing outside of that Houston consulate was stealing energy information, secrets related to energy. 2. So President Trump closed it down. That happened on Friday, as a matter of fact. And State Department officials, and I'm reading this from Just the News, State Department officials reportedly gained access to the building about an hour after 4 p.m., after the 4 p.m. eviction deadline, with the assistance of a locksmith and firefighters. So, once again, they were burning documents. Now, President Trump on Wednesday ordered the Chinese government officials to leave. Get out. Get out. Get out. Always wanted to say that. Okay. To leave as part of an escalating divide between the two countries, including U.S. concerns about espionage, China's handling of the China Wuhan virus. They said coronavirus, but I say China Wuhan virus. If you don't know why I say China Wuhan virus, check out my episode, The Reason Why I Call It the China Wuhan virus, and then you will understand. Back to the story. And most recently, Beijing imposing a sweeping new security law on Hong Kong. Chinese officials were burning documents at the compound within hours of being ordered to leave. In response to the eviction, the ruling Chinese Communist Party has ordered the U.S. to leave its consulate in Chengdu. So we have a battle of the consulates. Now, with China ordering the U.S. to leave their consulate in Chengdu, the United States still has consulates in 5 other cities in China. There's an embassy in Beijing, and then the 5 other mainland cities: Shanghai, Guangzhou, Chengdu, Shenyang, and Wuhan. Go figure. If anything, I'd be like, hey, we'll leave Chengdu and Wuhan. That's just me. So it's more of tit for tat. Again, this is a bad relationship where people just need to take their stuff and go their separate ways. It is time to decouple from this country. 80% of our stuff comes in from China. 80%. That's not good. A lot of our medicine comes in from China. That's not good. I'm waiting for the time to come where the United States government, and this next statement isn't just about China, this is in general. And this is how I look at things. First of all, any foreign country or company can only have limited ownership of anything related to the United States, whether it be company, whether it be property, because Chinese people come here and buy property all the time. Ask a real estate agent. They buy property here all the time. In some of the countries don't play that. They're like, you just can't come here and buy property when you're not a citizen of this country. But for whatever reason, the United States is willy-nilly about letting other people and countries buy things in the United States. I wish the United States would limit that, saying you can only buy a certain percentage. And the small percentage that you are allowed to buy, I think there should be tons of regulation. Just like President Trump got rid of all the regulations, well, not all the regulations, but he got rid of a lot of regulations when it comes to businesses and stuff. When it comes to foreign countries, entities, people, whatever, purchasing things that are United States related, that is the one area where I think it should be over regulated. I think it should be regulated so much where if somebody thinks about purchasing something that is United States related, they will look at all the hoops they have to jump through and be like, you know what? Never mind. That is what I want. Is foreign investment a good thing? Yeah, it can be. The United Kingdom is a foreign country. Right now, the United Kingdom and the United States are on pretty decent terms. For now. Things change. As I say all the time on my other channel, and I might have said it on this channel a few times, as our lives change, so do our needs. So we're on good footing with the UK for right now, but something may change 5 years from now, 10 years from now, because their needs may change as a country. The United States needs to keep this in mind and not be so open to allowing people to come in and purchase things. And other countries, I encourage them to do the same thing. You want investment, but you don't want it to be easy. You want to have certain safeguards in place where if something changes on one end or the other end or both ends, then the necessary adjustments to protect the assets of the United States of America can be made. And that has been one of my biggest issues because people are not necessarily looking at protecting the assets of the United States. People are looking at making money. And money is great. I love money. And money loves me. However, you have to be loyal to the country first. You have to be loyal to your country first. If your loyalty is to money from another country, you can always live in that country. I'm sure that, see what their citizenship requirements are. NBA. I'm sure they love to have you. The China situation is not going away. I feel it will get worse before it gets better. Because a lot of people, even though you see all of this chaos going on in the cities right now, the people who are not really caught up in the chaos and they're seeing that the chaos within the cities of the United States will eventually pass, those like me realize that the larger issue that needs to be handled is the situation with China. China has to be handled one way or another. And the only way to do it is, in my opinion, is to rip off the Band-Aid. And say, we're decoupling. We want you out of our industries. We want you out of this. We want you out of that. And if it causes some if it causes some pain, the pain will be temporary compared to what it could be if we allow them to stay coupled with us and entangled with us and let it continue to metastasize, where we can't get them off. It's almost like a squid, where if a squid grabs onto you with one tentacle, it's a little bit easy because it's got the suction cups, or even the octopus. It's easy to get the one tentacle off, to get the squid or the octopus off of you. But if it gets on 2 tentacles or 3 tentacles or 4 tentacles or 5 tentacles, and then you're trying to yank this thing off while you're yanking your skin off at the same time, it makes it even more painful down the line, when it wouldn't have been as painful if you would have gotten it off with just the one tentacle. But when all 8 tentacles are latched onto you, it's going to hurt like hell. And honestly, since I threw it out there like that, I believe China has about 4 to 5 tentacles on us right now, with 3 to 4 to go. We don't want it to get to that level. We want to start ripping the tentacles off so we can throw it back in the ocean and go on about our business. We don't want it to get all 8 tentacles on us, and something needs to be done. And this battle of the consulates, this is just the opening act of what I'm sure more things to come. I don't know what the president has up his sleeve. He's been very tame when it comes to China. I know he did an executive order related to China, but still, even as comprehensive as that executive order was, it's still, I don't believe it will bear the fruit necessary for quick action. And what we need is quick action. We need to just deal with the temporary pain, rip it off, and be done with it. If we can subsidize, if we were able to subsidize companies to move their shipping to China, if we're able to subsidize this and subsidize that, then ripping the Band-Aid off, we can subsidize whatever pain may follow by ripping it completely off and getting these tentacles off of us. And that's how I feel about it. And that's why I wanted to cover the story with the consulates. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching the Purple Elephant Show. I really appreciate it. It means more to me than you know. Also, thank you for listening, because as I look at the analytics or the metrics or whatever you want to call it, I see other countries pop up from time to time, whether it's Israel, whether it's the UK, whether it's Australia, whether it's the United States, and on other platforms, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Apple, listening to the show. It means more to me than you know. So thank you for doing that. Again, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will have some more episodes for you next weekend. Behind the scenes, I'm going to work on the administrative stuff for this channel and my other channel. Once I've completed the administrative stuff, I'll let you know what it is. Getting verified by Parler is just one of the things, but I have something else that I'm doing, and I don't want to say what it is until after I've completed it. So yeah, thank you again. Be blessed.